As You Like It by William Shakespeare, Act 2, Scene 7. Enter Duke Senior, Amiens, and lords dressed as outlaws. I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him like a man. My lord, he is but even now gone hence. Here was he merry, hearing of a song. If he, compact with jaws, grows musical, we shall have shortly discord in the spheres. Go seek him. Tell him I would speak with him. Enter Jaques. He saves my labour by his own approach. Why, how now, monsieur? What a life is this, that your poor friends must woo your company? What, you look merrily? A fool, a fool. I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool, who laid him down and basked him in the sun, and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms, in good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good moral fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he, call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. Then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eye, says very wisely, It is 10 o'clock. Thus we may see, quoth he, how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9. And after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so from hour to hour we ripe and ripe. And then from hour to hour we rot and rot, and thereby hangs the tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like Chanticleer. The fools should be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh sans intermission, an hour by his dial. O noble fool, a worthy fool, motley is the only wear. What fool is this? A worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier, and says if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observation, the which he vents in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat. Thou shalt have one. It is my only suit, provided that you weed your better judgments of all opinion that grows rank in them that I am wise. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind to blow on whom I please. For so fools have. And they that are most galled with my folly, they must most laugh. And why, sir, must they so? The why is plain as way to parish church. He that a fool doth very wisely hit, doth very foolishly, although he smart, not to seem senseless of the barb. If not, the wise man's folly is anatomized even by the squandering glances of the fool. Invest me in motley, give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine. Fie on thee! I can tell thee what thou wouldst do. What, for counter, would I do but good? Most mischievous foul sin and chiding sin. For thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish sting itself, and all the embossed sores and headed evils that thou with license of free foot hast caught, wouldst thou disgorge into the general world. Why, who cries out on pride that can therein tax any private party? Doth it not flow as hugely as the sea, till that the weary very means do ebb? What women in the city do I name? When that I say the city woman bears the cost of princes on unworthy shoulders? Who can come in and say that I mean her, when such a one as she, such is her neighbor? Or what is he of basest function, that says his bravery is not on my cost, thinking that I mean him? But therein suits his folly of the metal of my speech. There then, how then, what then? Let me see wherein my tongue hath wronged him. If it do him right, then he hath wronged himself. If he be free, why then my taxing like a wild goose flies unclaimed of any man. But who comes here? Enter Orlando with a sword drawn. Forbear and eat no more. Why, I have ate none yet, nor shall not till necessity be served. Of what kind should this cock come of? Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seemest so empty? You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of bare distress hath ta'en from me the show of smooth civility. Yet am I inland bred, and know some nurture. But forbear, I say. He dies that touches any of this fruit, till I in my affairs are answered. And you will not be answered with reason. I must die. What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness. I almost die for food, and let me have it. Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table. Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on this countenance of stern commandment. But whate'er you are, that in this desert inaccessible, under the shade of melancholy boughs, lose and neglect the creeping hours of time. If ever you have looked on better days, if ever been where bells have knolled to church, if ever sat at any good man's feast, if ever from your eyelids wiped a tear, and know what it is to pity and to be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be. In the which hope I blush and hide my sword. True it is that we have seen better days, and have with holy bell been knolled to church, and sat at good men's feasts, and wiped our tears of drops that sacred pity hath engendered. And therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered. Then but forbear your food a little while, whiles like a doe I go to find my fawn, and give it food. There is an old poor man, who after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, oppressed with two weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit. Go, find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return. I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort. Exit. Thou seest we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and his shiny morning face, creeping like snail, unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pod, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly and good cape lined, with eye severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. The last scene of all, that ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Enter Orlando, bearing Adam. Welcome. Set down your venerable burden, and let him feed. I thank you most for him. So had you need. I scarce can speak to thank you for myself. Welcome, fall to. I will not trouble you as yet to question you about your fortunes. Give us some music, and good cousins, sing. Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude. Hey ho, sing hey ho, unto the green holly. Most friendship is fading, most loving mere folly. Then hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, that dost not bite so nigh, as benefits forgot. Thou, though the waters warp, thy sting is not so sharp, as friend remember not. Hey ho, sing hey ho, unto the green holly, most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. If that you be the good Sir Rowland's son, as you have whispered faithfully you were, and as mine eye doth his effigies witness, most truly limbed and living in your face, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. The residue of your fortune, go to my cave and tell me. Good old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is. Support him by thy arm. Give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand. Excellent.